Okay, so the next step, then we will calculate prior odds. Prior odds. So we put the 2.2, we forget about it for just 1 minute. Okay, what is the prior probability or prevalence of depression in this clinic? Is it 5%, 15%? So we need probability here, same thing as prevalence or percentage. So here, 10% of the patients, you just know from working there, they're depressed. Okay? So now we calculate prior odds. So remember 2.2? And then we now will calculate prior odds. So hang in there. We're getting close to the answer. Okay. So prior odds. Prior odds. Odds of what? Being depressed. So that equals 10%. So here the prevalence is a probability, just like in my funny marriage example where I said maybe 30% chance we will get married in the next few days. Here it's 10%. I know at this hospital or clinic 10% are depressed. In decimal format, that same thing is 0.1. Same thing, 0.1 or 10%. What does this equal? So take a few seconds and maybe do that. So if you take your calculator or your phone, 1 minus that is 0.9. And so does anyone have an answer for that?
0.11.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. So 0.11. So you're like, why don't we bring all these calculations for? Well, we're going to put it all together using this diagram. 10%. We now have the odds. We're going to multiply it by likelihood ratio of a positive test. The X means it could be positive or negative. This assignment or homework deals with a positive test. Okay? So then we say, well, where's that formula? This one now, we're right here. Prior odds multiplied by the 2.2. So we're almost done. Hang in there. So let's do that. There's a lot of information, but you guys are doing well. Okay, so posterior odds. Maybe I'll just say PO. I'll be a little lazy instead of writing it out. Okay, so 0.11, like we just said, multiplied by 2.2. Right, very good. So if someone can do that on their calculator.
0.022.
Excellent, very good. So prior odds, posterior odds. Okay. And I know I will send this to you because I know I'm going quickly. Okay, so now we have to calculate this one right here. Because odds, it's hard for me to understand odds. It's easier when we talk to our patients or students with probability. If I say, like, you have 80% chance of winning money tomorrow, or lottery, or buying a car, that's easier than understanding 80% divided by 20%, which is odds. So let's do this last part here. So we need posterior probability. So posterior probability.
Free bạn cũ rồi, không bạn cũ rồi. Còn cái này không có bản nào hết. Không dùng chương trình. Hộp quay trên chiếc phó. Hai trên chiếc phó.
So this is posterior probability, this last equation here.
Yeah.
You take the 0.24, divide by 1 plus 0.24. Let's see, anyone has an answer for that?
4.90.
Yes, excellent, excellent. So, and what does that mean? So really, you remember when we were children and we were learning algebra and math, this is really over 1. In algebra, what you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So this multiplied by 100. So then we get 19 over 100, which is the same thing as 19%.
Yeah.
19 per 100. So what does that mean? That means the probability of depression being present in this type of patient is almost double, 10% versus 19%, if the patient has a positive screening test. So maybe I will send you the answers because I know that's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll pass this around real quick and I'll email it to you if you want to just share with your classmates really, and then I'll email it.
Nốt được không? Nốt được mấy.
And we have some books here that I listed that you that maybe are where the formulas came from, like the references. And these are some good books. Some are old. And I apologize. There's a lot of information, but I'll email you all this too. Okay? So thank you very much. We landed. We got crashed.